Hi Taurus, this is your astrology and tarot forecast for October 2014. Thank you for joining me for this reading. I'm going to give you a rundown of the astrology, what's going to influence you, and then I'll have a look at the tarot. I'm going to choose one card and give you an overall theme for the month. So the first thing is that the moon is in its first quarter at the beginning of the month on the 1st of October, and it's near Pluto. It's 8 degrees away from Pluto. And what that means is that at the beginning of the month, you're going to explore something new, and it's either going to be in terms of the area of your work, taking a trip, or academically expanding. And you're going to spend the first 3 days of October really looking at things, exploring new things that you're not aware of yet, and that will really infuse you and energize you spiritually. The 4th of October sees Mercury going into retrograde, and that happens in Scorpio in your 7th house. Mercury retrograde is a phenomenon that happens 3 times a year. It's very similar each time. It just means that communication becomes a bit more challenging and you have to look at alternate ways of getting your message across. I've made a separate video on this. If you're interested, you can have a look at that. But specifically this one, it lasts until the 26th of October, and it's in your 7th house of relationships and Scorpio's feelings. So you're going to struggle and you're going to find it quite difficult to express your true feelings to your partner. You're going to be a little bit inflexible there and quite, this is the way it is and I don't really want to talk about it. So just be aware of that reluctance of opening yourself up and being open to that, and just kind of make an effort in that area. The 8th of October is a full moon, and it's not only a full moon, it's also a total lunar eclipse, which happens on the south node of the moon. And that's about releasing something. And what this releases is your desire. I think you've been on a spiritual quest. I think you've been really fiery about finding something miraculous, or something that really you've needed to be the most enlightened or the most spiritual or the most kind of in tune and aware, and that's been going on for you for a while. And this lunar eclipse allows you to just kind of become more balanced around that. You're able to balance it with having a harmonious kind of even keel in your daily existence, and having love for the mundane, having love for, I have a car, I get in it every morning, I go to work, I have nice food that I can eat, I have a house, and all of that wonderful supportive routine opposes this desire to be the most enlightened, most spiritual, most, I don't know, like the most Christ-conscious like person. And this is unusual for you that I'm seeing this, because Taurus is very structured and earthy usually, and gets a lot of its spiritual kind of satisfaction from the material plane. But there has been something recently where you have wanted to be the best in terms of that. So it could be that you've wanted to be the richest or acquire the most things. But that starts to even out, and you can see that you have enough. And what you have enough is supportive and nurturing, and you don't need to be number one all the time. So the 9th and 10th of the month are really interesting for you, because family and relationships really blossom and start to flow much more freely, and you start to have that as a theme in your life. And on the 11th, Mercury goes into Libra, which means from Scorpio, which means you become much more interested in creating harmonious relationships between you and other people. On the 13th and 14th and 15th, money becomes something that you're very sensitive to, and specifically on the 13th you're able to get some information that will help you to increase your financial abundance. You'll work with that, and by the time the 15th comes around, you'll be communicating in your daily life on this information that you received on the 13th. So you get something, you get some info or some good news about how to make money on the 13th. You implement that, and you are consistently and actively working with it by the time the 15th comes around. The next week after that is all about implementing new ideas, new innovations and growth in your daily life. You're able to communicate very well, you love what you do, you love your daily routine, and I think the place where you're going to be most comfortable between the 16th and the 22nd is at the office. There'll be a real sense of ease and delight at being at work and just being productive on a day-to-day basis and really seeing the outcome. You know, sometimes you can work yourself to the bone and nothing ever works or moves or happens. This is not the case for you. This is really a good week, 16th to 22nd, where you enjoy your work, you're able to get a lot done with it, and you achieve what you set out to do. On the 23rd, there's a partial solar eclipse on the north node of the moon. This is the last eclipse of 2014, and solar eclipses often usually relate to government or the people who make the rules. It's in Libra, which is about harmony and fairness and justice. So hopefully the global governments are able to create a little bit more peace in the world. Astrologically, the energy feeds into that and really sees that a lot of potential can be made there. So I'm sure you'll join me in my prayers that that will happen. The 24th of October sees Venus going into Scorpio, and that's in your 7th house. So now the focus shifts for you, and it shifts onto relationships. And it's a very strong focus here, and you start to loving. You're in love with love, really, which is great. You really want to express yourself in your relationships. You have a strong structure there. You're looking for structure. If you're in a relationship already, you'll be very comfortable sharing yourself, sharing your emotions. If you're single, you'll want to find a relationship or find ways of creating that structure. And there's real wonderful potential for you to do that around the 24th. The 26th sees Mars moving from Sagittarius into Capricorn in your 9th house. Okay, that's interesting. So it moves from the sign of Sagittarius into the house of Sagittarius, traditionally, which is ruled by Capricorn. So you will want to expand your business, your growth, your job, your money, your responsibilities, what you know. You'll want to expand your skills in terms of your job. So this is continued professional development. And that lasts until the end of the month, and you can really achieve some of your hopes and dreams here in terms of progressing work-wise. Absolutely. Fantastic. I'm going to draw a tarot card to give you the overall theme for the month here, to see what you'll be working with, to summarize some of what I've said so far. So the card is the Death card in reverse. And the Death card in reverse means new life. And by expanding and growing and exploring different parts of your work and taking further training, that you can really create a new life in terms of your job. So if your job is currently stagnant and you feel like you just go in every day and you do something that you've done every other day, although I don't really see that level of stagnation, because in the middle of the month you really enjoy just being there and just enjoy being productive. So you can create new life in terms of expanding it and making it even bigger. So you've got this foundation of enjoying the work that you're doing, but you can take it to the next level and bring it to an even livelier point. So that's really positive. I hope you have a wonderful month. If you'd like a private reading with me, please visit my website. It's gregoryscott.co.uk. You can look at the different tabs there. There's a section which is about me. You can look at the testimonials, which looks at comments from people who've had readings with me in the past. The readings tab shows you the types of readings I do and the cost. You can find me on Facebook, facebook.com/GregoryScott444, and you can also send me an email. The address is readings@gregoryscott.co.uk. Have a fantastic October, and I'll speak to you soon.